So lads, Aliyah Boston has just said something. She has said something. She gave an answer to a question that obviously people are going to be asked. The Fever players are going to be asked. And she did it in the best possible.
V1. The WNBA is once again caught in a manufactured controversy as DeWanna Bonner returns to Indianapolis and receives a reaction that was both expected and, some argue, warranted. Instead of acknowledging the real story playing out, league veterans and media figures have chosen to cast Indiana Fever fans as the antagonists.
What was it like having DeWanna Bonner return to Indiana, and what were your thoughts on the fan reception tonight?
Honestly, that got nothing to do with me. I think DB returned because we were playing Phoenix, and so that happened to be that. The fans chose to do what they wanted to do, but for us it's about paying attention to what we have to do here, and that was coming in and getting a big win.
This highlights the widening gap between fans who value accountability and a league that appears more focused on shielding emotions than confronting the truth. In an era dominated by social media outrage and contrived drama, common sense has become nearly as scarce as a DeWanna Bonner highlight reel from her short time in Indiana.
Boo people for less. I boo people for way less. Like, if somebody played for my team, my favorite team, and they left after 9 to 10 games, wasn't a good fit. I'm sure she dealt with some shit. I'd feel the type of way her coming back into my house. That's just fandom, okay? So, again, open to constructive feedback. I think that's sports, man. I'm going to be booing people all the time. I love it. Boo. I love.
During Wednesday night's matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury, with the Fever aiming to extend their impressive run, DeWanna Bonner checked into the game and was met with a reaction any reasonable sports fan could have predicted. A chorus of boos from fans who remember her mid-season departure.
Lose some of you with this one, but I'm open to constructive feedback, okay? I don't think it's a big deal that DeWanna Bonner got booed. I don't. I love that Kalia Copper stuck up for her post-game interview, right? Like, that's her teammate, that's her girl. She said what she needed to say. I boo people for less. I boo people for way less. Like, if somebody played for my team, my favorite team, and they left after 9 to 10 games, wasn't a good fit.
The moment was as predictable as it was warranted. Bonner, once touted as a marquee free agent signing for the Fever, played just 9 games before deciding the fit wasn't right and requesting her release.
Expected the Indiana Fever fans to what? Give her a warm welcome back in the Gainbridge after sitting here and quitting on the team, not even halfway through the season, and you talking about it's distasteful, it's disrespectful the way DeWanna Bonner quit on this team. This is sports. You women's basketball players and women's basketball fans sit up here and act like everything is supposed to be peaches and cream all the time. Stadiums, arenas, everybody boos.
What followed was the kind of poised, professional response that has come to define Aliyah Boston's career. When asked about the crowd's reaction, she told reporters that it has nothing to do with me, adding that fans simply chose to do what they wanted to do.
Literally. Perfect.
Honestly, that got nothing to do with me.
That got nothing to do with me, first of all. It's very different than we don't condone that. We don't like seeing that. Like, nothing about that. It was literally no negative things towards fans, which, they probably would have hoped that Aliyah Boston called out the fans. Just, they had nothing to do with me. She doesn't want to get herself involved in the wrath of the old WNBA.
Meanwhile, Mercury players popped up like jack-in-the-boxes at a grievance convention, eager to turn routine fan behavior into the next great sports injustice. And here's where it gets interesting, which is to say, entirely predictable. Rather than recognizing that booing is a basic part of professional sports, Mercury star Kalia Copper chose to label Fever fans as distasteful for voicing their disappointment.
I mean, I don't understand, she a legend, and just all the things that she's done for the league, and just the disrespect, I can't get down with it. They booed her. She didn't say a word to the crowd. People talk some trash to her, but we had her back. But it's just very distasteful for what their fans.
If you're enjoying this, be sure to subscribe. Now here's where the story shifts from simply disappointing to downright infuriating. In all their supposed wisdom, Mercury players have chosen to ignore the very real reasons fans might be upset with DeWanna Bonner, while somehow suggesting that booing a player who walked out on her team is beyond the pale. Let that sink in. These players seem more invested in shielding someone who quit mid-season than in trying to understand why fans might feel betrayed.
Aliyah Copper. You know that she quit on the team, right? You know that she quit on the team. She quit. She's a quitter. Money that we could have used on a free agent that actually has mental fortitude, that's mentally strong, not mentally weak. We could have went out and signed them to help us actually turn this team into a winning team, try to help us build toward the future. Instead, DeWanna Bonner and Stephanie White talked to each other in a dark room and said, yeah, I'll get you over here.
This is the same Dana Bonner who was brought in specifically to provide veteran leadership and championship experience to a young Fever roster. She was supposed to be the missing piece, the steady hand to help guide Caitlin Clark and this promising team toward contention. Instead, she played 9 games, averaged 7.1 points on a mediocre 34.5% shooting, got benched, and decided she didn't like the situation. The league's response, or more accurately, the response from certain players, to the fan reaction is telling. When fans invest both emotionally and financially in their team, only to see a veteran walk away the moment things get tough, booing isn't just acceptable, it's expected. Criticizing that is like standing next to a pool and complaining about getting splashed.
She signed, she played like 9 games, and then she said, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm not going to show up until you release me. Basically quit on the team. Because she wanted to be back home with Alyssa Thomas in Phoenix. Which, I mean, totally fair, but why would you sign a contract with Indiana if you just wanted to be home? You know, that doesn't make any sense. And so she leaves, she quits on the team, and now she returns to Indiana and she gets booed. And people are...
Boston's response has been nothing short of professional. She acknowledged that fans will do what fans do, refused to criticize them, and kept the focus where it belongs on basketball. No dramatic speeches about respect or legacy, no victim narratives, and no months-long attempts to rewrite the story. Just basketball, pure and simple. It's clear she understands the best way to handle controversy is to do your job and let your performance do the talking, like dropping 17 points in the fourth quarter to seal the win. Bonner and her teammates, however, have turned this into a personal crusade, filled with lectures on respect and unnecessary commentary about fan behavior. The real victims here are Indiana Fever fans, those who invested their time, money, and passion into supporting a team that signed what they believed was a difference maker, only to see her walk away when the going got tough.
Do what they want to do. The fan chose to do what they want to do. That was simple as that. Nice and easy. Simple as that. Let's not say a negative thing. She said the fans did what the fans did. She made her bed, she can lay in it, basically. That ain't nothing to do with me. Yeah. Love this response. Great response, great answer.
The most frustrating part of this whole situation is the gaslighting of Fever fans who have every right to express their disappointment. In today's world, booing, one of the most basic ways fans show displeasure in professional sports, is somehow labeled inappropriate when aimed at a player who literally quit mid-season. This is professional sports, not a participation trophy ceremony. When LeBron James returned to Cleveland after the decision, he was booed relentlessly, and no one acted like it was disrespectful. When players force trades or leave teams under controversy, fan backlash isn't just expected, it's part of the unspoken emotional contract between athletes and their supporters. What makes this situation even more absurd is the contrast in performance. The player many say should apologize to fans, Aliyah Boston, was busy dominating with 22 points and 12 rebounds, including a crucial 17-point fourth quarter that sealed the win. The difference couldn't be clearer. One player quit when things got tough, while the other stayed and delivered when it mattered most.
Clear is that in the first game that Phoenix plays Indiana, after signing Ari and DeWanna Bonner leaving, Ari has a season high of 27 points, and DeWanna Bonner only scored 4 points for the Phoenix Mercury last night. And let me be clear, yes, DeWanna Bonner is a legend. Yes, she is a WNBA great. Yes, she's accomplished great things for the league. However, if you leave a team after 9 games in the way that she left, when you come back and play that team, of course their fans are going to boo you. That's like...
The broader context here is crucial. This is the same Indiana Fever fan base that has faced unfair criticism all season long, from baseless accusations of bad behavior that were thoroughly investigated and disproven, to constant complaints about being too passionate for their team. These fans have stuck by the team through rebuilding phases, celebrated the arrival of generational talent like Caitlin Clark, and invested emotionally in players like Bonner, hoping she would help bring success. When that investment is met with abandonment, booing isn't just understandable, it's expected. You don't walk into a former home on your own terms and expect fans to greet you warmly. And that's exactly what happened tonight. It's refreshing to hear someone in professional sports acknowledge this basic reality instead of pretending fan emotion exists in a vacuum.
Yeah, I think just in sports, it's kind of what you have to anticipate, right? Yeah, I thought she handled it fine. That's kind of how sports works. You go into a former home of yours, and typically, if you don't leave on your terms, the fans aren't going to be happy. And that's what they.
The most telling part of Aliyah Boston's response is what she didn't do. She didn't throw her fans under the bus. She didn't apologize for their completely reasonable reaction. She didn't resort to virtue signaling about respect or legends. Instead, she did what professional athletes should, focused on basketball, delivered a dominant performance, and let her play speak for itself. This is leadership in its purest form, protecting your people while staying locked in on what truly matters. And stark contrast, Mercury players seem more invested in policing fan behavior than acknowledging the valid reasons behind it. Kalia Kappa's comments about Bonner being the sweetest soul and the situation simply not working completely missed the point. Professional sports aren't about being sweet, they're about commitment, perseverance, and honoring the obligations you accept when you sign a contract. Bonner failed on all 3 counts, and fans have every right to express their disappointment.
Indiana fever land. It's daytime. You hear me? We booing all type of stuff. We ain't trying to hear all of that. Y'all crying about booing, but y'all used to playing in front of 10 fans. At the end of the day, man, head up, chest out. I can't believe y'all crying and whining and still trying to say these dumb allegations, bruh. And then you taking shots at my precious CC? Man, what she do to you? She ain't even play.